I'm live. Well, I figured I'd shoot a live. I've been to this exact spot on the river before, and I didn't want to make a whole new video, so I figured this would be a good time to kind of interact with some of my viewers, if any come on, and you can ask me questions. So what I'm going to do is just kind of run one bucket, and during that time, if anybody shows up and asks a question, welcome aboard. So this is a spot I've been to before. The river comes down, and right here is my gravel bar. I was hoping that it's going to be a little bit soft, that I can still dig, and it looks like it still is. So we'll start digging. I'm going to run just one bucket. Not a lot of time here, but while I do this, you guys are free to ask any questions you want, and I'll do my best to answer. Hopefully we find a little bit of gold. When I've done lives before, I have another YouTube channel, Lundgren Brown Studios. I've done lives on that one, and people come, people go, so I end up repeating myself quite a bit. But if you ask a question and I do a repeat, it's just because there's new viewers coming in, and they haven't heard what I had to say the first time. Hang on. I saw some comments and then they disappeared. So I want to make sure that I can see those. There we go. I did not wear my belt today, but I got belt loops so they can tie onto my belt loops. All right. So I know there's gold in this gravel bar. I know there's not a lot of gold here, but there should be some few specks. So I'm just going to run one bucket. It's pretty easy digging. I wish there was a way to make the comments not disappear. Show chat. There we go. You always use two classifiers, half inch. Why do you use two? I suppose that goes faster. I'm in Minnesota today. This is Minnesota mining. So, small creek in Minnesota, not too far from the Twin Cities. We have cell service here, so I figured would run the live. It'd take a while if I gotta keep coming to the chat. Keeps hiding it on me. Show all messages. How long have I been doing this? Well, not very long. So I got my degree in geology. I've been doing geologic work since 2010, but prospecting, I haven't started that until last February. And like most of you, I didn't even know there was gold in Wisconsin and Minnesota until I started watching the Flower Gold Wizard. And then once I saw his videos, I'm like, hey, wonder if I could do that. So I started, and here I am. Do I have a list of basic gear? Well, I keep it pretty similar, or simple I should say. I just use, this is like a kit that I got from Amazon. It's a 1/4-inch classifier and just a regular pan. It's nothing special. All you need, that's all you need, is that and a shovel, and you can go panning. I run the buckets, or I fill the buckets, and then I pan it out of that. You don't need much, but more tools make it more fun. You love the comedy. You know, I put that in there as kind of viewer retention. From my other YouTube channel, I know that people, anytime you give them an excuse to click off, they will. So if I can keep the retention by throwing something in there, it kind of resets the brain, and people will stay a little bit longer, get a little bit viewer retention. Did Rigby ever take a chunk out of my arm? I haven't met Rigby yet. I want to meet Rigby. He seems like the best mine boss in the world. My biggest flake or biggest picker. That's coming up in a video. I actually got to weigh it. It looked like a starfish, real cool piece of gold. Am I a science or geology teacher? No. I got my degree from UMD, University of Minnesota Duluth. I don't teach though. I used to teach Muay Thai, so I do have like teaching experience, but I don't teach geology. I'm not in Plymouth. I've never prospected in Plymouth, but there might be gold there. If you can find a river with a good gravel bar, it's a good place to look. My other channel is Lundgren Bronze Studios. I do bronze casting, metal work. It's just kind of a hobby. That's how I started with YouTube. I started YouTube with doing the bronze casting, and that's kind of how I learned how to do YouTube. So when I started this channel, it started growing like way faster than the first one. You kind of learn the game a little bit. So the Flambeau mine in Rusk County. So the Flambeau mine was a sulfide mine. It was primarily a copper mine. There was gold present there, but if you, like, their target mineral was copper. So that's why I don't call it a gold mine. And the gold that's locked in the sulfides, I mean, it's literally measured in parts per billion. It's very minute. It's nothing you could pan. It's just kind of present with the sulfides. So I don't classify that as a gold mine because the target mineral were the sulfides for copper. Just because there's gold present there, it's kind of a byproduct more than the target mineral. But I do plan to go to the Flambeau mine. I want to go there. They did a reclamation project, and they, you know, it's a very controversial mine because sulfide mining is controversial. They reclaimed it, and I want to go to the rivers there and see what it looks like, kind of show people what the aftermath of sulfide mining looks like, and then see if we can find any glacial gold around there too. You found classifiers unnecessary work and much slower than panning. You also throw away nuggets. Well, there's no nuggets 1/4 inch around here, and when I've done panning without classifying, the bigger rocks, they tend to disrupt those flour gold, and I've lost more gold. So I have a better retention rate when I do classify. I am familiar with Hayward. I grew up in northern Wisconsin, in Douglas County. Right now I'm kind of living both between Douglas County and the Twin Cities. I found way more gold in the Twin Cities area, but I know where Hayward is. They have that big muskie. It's a muskie county. The Highway Sand Challenge. I don't think I'm gonna do that one. I'm pretty sure I won't find much. If I'm gonna spend the time making a video, I want to find a little more. I'm gonna try to anyway. Let's see some gold by you. I haven't got any gold yet. I got questions to answer. Okay, I'm gonna keep filling this bucket and then I'll start the pan. Last time I was here, there was a dead raccoon up there. There's still a dead raccoon up there. I'm not gonna touch that. I don't figure people want to see a dead raccoon anyway. That's not what this channel's about. Hey, I found some broken glass. There you go, it's a little piece. You know what that means? I say that, I don't see it anymore. It was in there. Well, I thought I saw glass. I say that because in a lot of places that I find gold, I also find broken glass. However, it seems to be broken glass about everywhere. That's cool. Cool rock, I'll show you that. I'll show you in a little bit, not right now. I've been meaning to get a better classifier. I know the Flower Gold Wizard, he has his classifier, Jocelyn. I'm gonna build one. Look at that. So there's a fracture in this rock and it's filled with, it looks like granite. No gold in that, but it shows there was some geologic activity going on. From Menominee, I haven't tried around Menominee. I've heard people mention that before. Do we have chicken nuggets? There are some chicken nuggets. Not in the river. Winter prospecting, yeah, I'm surprised too. I don't know how the Flower Gold Wizard does it. My hands get cold wearing these gloves. But, you know, it's not too bad. As long as you're dressed for it. My feet get so cold though. I got a few winter videos coming up. Your best days are when you see thick glass. I kind of overfill my classifier, don't I? Just want to get the most out of it. My eyes are bigger than my classifier. So the farthest I've gone in Wisconsin is a driftless zone. I was in near Platteville, Wisconsin, doing some geologic work there. And what I do is, where they're building wind turbines, I go down there with the drill rig and we drill down about 50, 60 feet down or more. And I classify the strength and composition of the soil or rock. And then I take that information and send it to the engineers so they know what type of foundation they need to design for the wind turbines. And that's what I've been doing geologic-wise lately. I worked in the gold mines for a while. I worked in a gold mine in Nevada for one drilling season. That was really cool, but I didn't really like Nevada so much. After that, I went to the oil fields, and I worked in the oil fields for a number of years doing mud logging and geosteering. So we drill down 4 miles, or we drill down 2 miles, turn 90 degrees, and drill 2 miles horizontal. And I was involved in classifying the geologic maps as we drill down and geosteering, making sure they kept in the pay zone when they were drilling. Now I do geotechnical work for the wind turbines. Yeah, I'm helping murder the birds. I don't like wind turbines, to be honest. I don't think they're the best way to power a country. I was at a project in Oregon once, and I could count from where I was standing 550 wind turbines, and none of them were spinning. Every single one of them was still because there was no wind. And that kind of odds, you know, maybe there's no wind, maybe there is. It's not a way to power a country. I'm a huge proponent of nuclear, but the wind turbines, they give me a job. So there you go. There's a lot of big green money that people don't talk about, but there is. All right, let's get another classified material. sandy here, so there's probably not much gold. I know there is some. I found it before, but there's not going to be big pieces. Probably won't have any pickers. You never know, though. How do you know unless you dig? How do you know unless you plan it out? About half the bucket filled. I'm gonna do 1 bucket today, but where do I live now? I live kind of northern Wisconsin and the Twin Cities. I've been kind of floating back and forth for a while, but plan is to move permanently to northern Wisconsin. Just been bouncing back and forth a bit for now. Where am I now? I'm in Minnesota, so not too far out of the Minneapolis area. I'm on my way back to southern Wisconsin for a job, but I figured I'd stop and make a live while I'm there. Do I work for American Engineering? I actually own my own LLC right now. So I do subcontracting and pretty much for Bar Engineering. They're the company I work for, Twin Cities based company. And yeah, it's all American based. I do testing for the foundations of wind turbines. Classify the strength and composition of the soil and rock so the engineers know what kind of foundation to build. Yeah, I have had deer walk past me. There's one. I got a video coming up. My videos lag several weeks, but coming up, I was showing the gold the way I do, and all of a sudden I hear this noise, and I look up, and 2 bucks come running down this hill. They started running right at me, and I kind of got a little bit of the film, but that's coming up in one of my videos. You look forward to my videos. Well, that's great. My use of GIFs is unmatched. You know, I try. It takes me a long time. I spend so much time editing those videos just to put those GIFs in there and try to find the right one. Sometimes I think it's more work than it's worth, but people like them, so I'll keep doing it. The Vermilion River. It's not. I'd like to try the Vermilion River, but where the places I've looked, like I look at places on Google Earth and I try to find gravel bars or places that look like there might be at least a little bit of a shoreline where there's gravel. And a lot of the rivers in Minnesota look like they're just swamp drainage. A lot of the rivers in Wisconsin too. So that's what the Vermilion River looked like to me, just swamp drainage, but I don't know. I'd kind of have to be at the river. I have worked in Colorado. Back when I worked in the oil industry, I did some work in Colorado, but not much. I've never put turbines up in Colorado. Wyoming, Oklahoma, yeah, I've been there. I've been all over. Yes, I have a geology degree. I got it from the University of Minnesota Duluth, and I grew up in northern Wisconsin. So southern Wisconsin, I'm working near Platteville. They're building a wind farm down there, so I'm gonna head down there today. Any collaborations planned with the Flower Gold Wizard? Yes, we talked about going to do some Lake Superior mining next season when the summer comes, when the water's warm, when the weather's warm. Chippewa River in Eau Claire, let me know. Cool, you got a gravel bar there? I'm all for places to look. People suggest a lot of places, and that's great. I have never tried a road culvert. It seems like when I've looked at them, the amount that gets captured in there is really light material. It doesn't look like there's any dense packed gravels in the culvert, so I just never thought of looking there very much, but I do know people do catch gold in the culverts. I just haven't seen any. The Vermilion River that I know was heavily glaciated in northern Minnesota, unless there's a different Vermilion River. I'm not sure. Wait a minute, you're thinking south. I'm thinking Lake Vermilion. You're thinking south of the Vermilion River. That would be close to the driftless zone, so that might not have been glaciated. I don't know. Different maps show different boundaries for the glacier. That's why I like to be there and actually look at the rock so I can you know, see if there's glacial material there myself. Did I grow up in Minnesota? I live in Minnesota now. I've lived in the Twin Cities for the past 5 years, but 6 years now. But I didn't grow up there. I grew up in northern Wisconsin. The Iowa River. I've heard there's gold in the Iowa River. I haven't done much panning in Iowa. You found a 32-pound piece of petrified wood. Wow, worth $6,000 in Colorado. When I worked in the oil fields in North Dakota, I found petrified wood all the time. It was like the only thing there was to do. I'd go out in the fields and I'd get these huge pieces of petrified wood and bring them back. So much petrified wood back home. It wasn't very silicified very well, so it kind of falls apart, but still really cool. Yeah, I've had people tell me not to put the edits in my video. Like, the last thing I want to see is a clip of some show that I'm not familiar with, and I said, well, my channel's not for you then, because I put the edits in there. Lots of other YouTube channels to look at. If you don't like mine, you can scroll on. Awesome. Say hi to Rigby. I wish Rigby was here. He'd find some good gold. I don't know if they're sluicing up to Superior. As of now, I haven't heard that they are going to. I emailed the people in the Michigan DNR and I said, please open it again. I gave my 2 cents, but that's all I can do. Where do we send the 10-pan challenge pictures? So it's hard to communicate on YouTube. It's a lot easier on Instagram. So I made an Instagram page, Glacial Gold Hunter. It's the same. You can find me there. You can actually direct message me, send me pictures and stuff like that. So I think the Instagram is going to be a better way to communicate. Come to Pennsylvania. I've heard there's gold in Pennsylvania. You know, there's a Muay Thai gym in Pennsylvania that I may potentially visit from time to time, so there's a chance I might be in Pennsylvania. It's in the west side, though. I don't think there's a lot of gold there. There's some glacial gold in the west side, but the good gold, I think, is east. Ah, that's a good advice. I've heard other people say the Rush River. I've never been there, but that's a good one. I've heard that before. My favorite place to hunt for gold. Well, right now I have a favorite place. I haven't revealed it in one of my videos yet, but it's a secret place. But it's a fast-moving water with big boulders, big gravels and stuff, and I found a picker there, and nobody knows about it. I think I'm the only one that's found that spot, so that's what I call my favorite place now. But that's a top secret. So I'm kind of scanning through the chats right now. I don't know if I'm going to read all of them. There's a lot of them. Oh my gosh, there's so many chats. That's good. That's a good problem to have. So here's a question for you. I'm going to kind of break it up into 2 seasons. I filmed a video, and it's my end of season weigh out. So I weigh up all the gold I found throughout all the year, and that's like my season 1 end. And then for season 2, what I'm planning on doing is starting a brand new vial of gold. And then at the end, I'm going to merge the 2 together at the end of season 2. Do you want me to continue filling the same vial, or do you want me to do 2 vials and then combine them? I'd kind of like to do an individual vial to see how much more gold I find this season than last season, because I'm getting better at doing this, so I think I'm going to find more. But while you guys think about that, I'm going to keep on working here. I got 1 bucket to do, so I'm just going to keep digging a bit. I put little heat warmers in my wader shoes so my little toes don't get cold. These waders aren't insulated at all. They're like summer waders. My feet get really cold in this cold water. It's getting there. Typically when I go out, I only do like 3 or 4 buckets of material. I don't really do a lot. Oh my gosh. Aluminum, that's probably worth more than any of the gold I'll find. I'll remove that from the creek. You know, the last time I was here, there was a woman that saw me, and she was asking what I was doing. So I showed her some of the tiny little specks of gold I found, and she really wasn't very impressed at all. And then she found a piece of trash in the river, and I had my waders on, and she was like, "Do you think you could walk out and get that piece of garbage out of the river?" I'm like, "Sure, I can do that for you." But there's a select few people that like finding flower gold. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being an exclusive bunch. That's almost a full bucket. I could put a little bit more, but I'm gonna start panning. Hopefully we'll find some gold, but let me go back to the chats here. Do a vial for 2025. That's what I think I'm gonna do. Keep them separated. That's what I'm thinking. If you have property that you want to host me with, please contact me through Instagram, and you can direct message me there. I think that's the best way to kind of get in touch with people, because YouTube comments, they get hidden on me. Every time somebody comments on a video, I get a notification for the first comment, and then after that, they get lost. Let's see. Good, keep it separated. The Superior National Forest, I have gone to there, and part of that video was filmed in the Superior National Forest. There's not a lot of rivers that are good to pan. Most of it's like swamp drainage. So when I was looking for till, some of that was in the Superior National Forest. Okay, I think I gotta read and talk at the same time, otherwise it's boring, isn't it? I'm so popular. Who would have thought? I'm just a regular guy. Let's see. Did 7 buckets yesterday. 0.06. Yeah, 7 buckets. That's that's a lot of buckets of material. You're faster at classifying than I am. Rich YouTuber. You know, I make enough money on YouTube to pay for all the gas, so I'm planning on doing some good trips next summer. Next summer, I would like to go to the Rainy Lake, because there was a gold rush in Rainy Lake up in northern Minnesota. I want to do that. I want to go to the Flambeau mine and check that out. I want to, there's a gold mine in Minnesota, in southern Minnesota, that was abandoned, and I think the whole thing was a big scam. It was one of those deals. So I want to go check that out. I would like to do some panning in Iowa, because people use high bankers in Iowa, and that's really cool. I'd love to have somebody take me out. Iowa Gold Prospecting, he runs his high banker. Maybe we could do a collaboration with him sometime, and he can show me how he high banks in Iowa. That'd be really cool. Those are some of the ideas that I have. I'm open to suggestions if you guys want to list them, and I'm gonna go back to Lake Superior on the UP, because that was so much fun, and definitely gonna go back. That's my summer plan for tomorrow. Not tomorrow, next year. Anyway, let's get to panning. Let's do a little bit of panning here. You know what? I'm just gonna pan right in my hole. That doesn't sound right if you say it wrong. Okay. Live TV, you're gonna get the shaky cam for a bit. Let's see if I can do this without dropping my camera. Yeah, you can't really see what I'm doing. You know, making YouTube videos, it definitely slows down the process of mining. So much time is setting up the camera. See, now you can't see my head, so I gotta adjust again, try to get the most of the shot where you can still hear me. That's about fine. And of course, I forgot my scooper again today. I don't know why I can't remember my scooper, but I always forget my scooper. So I got my bucket. I'm gonna use my hand scooper and just speed pan it down. Now people don't like when I go like circles like this. They say go side to side. Okay, I'll go side to side today. I kind of go both ways. I do a little bit of everything. I'm gonna try some different pans next summer. I'm gonna try the gold claw pan because they say that's like the fastest way to get through material. And I got an idea coming up. I want to see how much gold is in the Mississippi River. So I did my video of 100 pans in the Mississippi River, and that's my best video to date. It's got nearly 1 million views by now. So I want to do that again, but instead of 100 pans, I want to do a full yard of dirt. A full yard of dirt is 40 buckets. That's a lot of buckets to get through. But I want to see how much gold per yard is in the Mississippi River. I think that would get a lot of views, and I think it would be a fun project to do. But I want to find the fastest way possible to get through that material. And they say the gold claw is the fastest way possible. So I'm going to give that a try. And once that's kind of down to the black sand, I just put another scoop on there and start panning down. If that video does really well with a whole yard of dirt on the Mississippi, then maybe I'll go up to a whole ton. You know, just like Pioneer Polly, he did the Home Depot sand, and then he did a pallet of Home Depot sand, and then he did a truckload of Home Depot sand. But you know, the Home Depot sand that he was getting is from the Fraser River, which is one of the best gold producing rivers in British Columbia. So it's kind of cheating. Depending on the source of the sand, I think is going to be the determining factor of if there's gold in it. If you take sand from here in Minnesota, I really don't think there's going to be gold in that, but you could test it. Now, I plan on doing some traveling out west to California. My wife is a travel nurse and she might get a contract out there, so there's potential that we'd spend a short time out west in California or Arizona, maybe someplace like that. And in those places, I think it would be interesting to get some Home Depot sand and give that a try, because those are gold-bearing areas. So your chances of gold in that kind of sand is a lot higher. And then I could also take some bags home and then compare it with bags from Minnesota and Wisconsin, and then see if there's gold in one or the other. That's another video idea. You know, it's amazing how warm you get when you're doing this. I'm starting to sweat. I'm gonna take off my jacket. Another thing I'm planning on doing is I think I need to get my line of hoodies. I need to get like a Glacial Gold Hunter logo and have my own Glacial Gold Hunter hoodie. I think that'd be cool. Picking a logo is hard for me though, you know. I've gone through AI generators and I'll find like a logo, type in what I do, and they come in with some pretty cool logos, but you know, it's deciding which one you go with. Because once you go with it, that's kind of your logo. This hole's filling up. I don't like that. Sure hope there's some gold in here. I'm sure there is a little bit. Not a lot but a little bit. Let's go back to the chat. I've been neglecting you guys. I get gold fever and I just don't know what's going on. Let's see. Slugger Man did a video on the Zumbro. I haven't seen that. I'll have to go look. We've got a high banker. This is great, but I'm missing the gifts. See, that's why I put them in there, because people get bored. I don't have the best personality. I can't keep your attention, so I got to put the gifts in there. Let's see. Turbo pan, since I like to swirl. Maybe I should try the turbo pan. It looks like a weird pan, though. I'm in Minnesota today. Kind of in the Twin Cities area. Per yard, you're guessing under 0.2 grams, probably. There's not much. Who needs a gym? Yeah. This can be hard work. The one day I did 12 hours of mining, I was actually sore the next day. Trying to fast forward the video. I'll post this. It will be archived, so for those watching it, you can fast forward. Do a poll and ask us for the logo. That's a good idea. Follow me on Instagram and I'll post that kind of stuff there. I guess I can post images on YouTube too. I only have like 50 followers on Instagram so far. How much concrete is under the big windmill? Well, I think it's like 100 tons. They're just huge. And the rebar, if you ever see those before they pour the concrete, how much rebar is there? Oh my gosh. They're never coming out of the ground. Once they're there forever. I'm a Muay Thai fighter. Used to be. I have a torn ACL right now. That's one of the reasons why I have so many videos lagged so far, because I was planning on getting the surgery and I wanted to have some videos to release while I was recovering. So I have like 10 videos filmed that need to be edited because I know I'm not going to be out mining. The surgery is coming up soon. I just haven't had it yet, so I just keep mining. But there's a lag in my videos. Some people, I know they fast forward through the video because then they ask questions and I'm like, well, I literally put that in the video here. You didn't watch it all, did you? That's okay. I don't always watch every video, every minute of every video either. Winter panning isn't too bad. It's not too cold today. If it was really cold though, it's not fun. Why would you do this if it's not any fun? How long have I been streaming? I was only going to do this for at most 1 hour. But this is like the longest bucket in the world because I keep talking. That's okay. I get to answer your questions and see some of you guys' chats. The bad thing about these lives is once the live is done, all those chats disappear. So I gotta read them now. The next video I'm making is, well, I got two options. I started editing one, but I may go to the other. I actually made a high banker, and I went to Iowa to test it out. So I have that video underway. It's kind of a disaster, but a lot of fun. And then the other video, I have a rock crusher that I made because all the places I've gone, I've been collecting pieces of quartz. And I'm gonna take that quartz, crush it up, and pan it out. But I had to make a rock crusher to do that. So I made a simple rock crusher, you know, just to do it by hand. And that's one video coming out too. Last week I was at a copper mine, northern Wisconsin. It was not known for gold mining, but it was known for copper mining. They had copper mines in the same geologic formation that was up in the Keweenaw Peninsula, stretches out and goes through northern Wisconsin. So there's copper mines all over. Well, I went to one and I looked for some copper. So that's one video coming out. A little bit different kind of mining. Looks like 3 more pans. 3 pans worth. And then we'll have some gold to show. I think I got, wow. See, I've done lives on my other channel, my bronze casting channel. I think the most I had was 50 people in the live. And now I got 148 people. That's amazing. Gold is a lot more popular than bronze. With my bronze casting channel, I have almost 30,000 subscribers, but the views I get are way less than I get on the gold panning channel. Right now I have like 8,000 subscribers, but get way more views. People like gold more than they like bronze. I should have brought my iPad. Maybe I could read the comments from here, but I can't see them. I can't see them this far away. Let me finish this pan and then I'll get back to the chat. Or I'll finish this bucket. And then when I have some gold to show, I'll go back to the chat and show you the gold. Okay? Sound like a deal? Gotta stratify it. Liquefaction. When all your sediment turns into basically liquid, your gold can settle. Very bad for an engineer. You don't want liquefaction. That's why I gotta test the foundations for the wind turbines, because if you have any settling or anything and those big blades are flailing around, it can cause a vibration. Vibrates the foundation, you can get that liquefaction effect, and your wind turbines can fall down. And that's not good for anyone. Panning hole's filling up again already. There's a lot of black sand here, so there should be some gold. This is the first stream I ever found gold in. Well, that's not true. The first I found gold in was the Mississippi River. I found a little speck there. But I wasn't sure I could trust it being the Mississippi River. So I came to this stream and I found gold. And this is a more peaceful stream to pan than the Mississippi River. It's not too far away from where I live. Not the best gold though. But we're not out here to get rich, are we? Out here to have fun. I'm taking this pan kind of slow. I'm sorry, there's no fast forward. But hopefully I'll have something to show. Wouldn't that be something if after all this there's nothing in the pan? I've been accused of cherry picking. Can you believe that? Only showing the best. I show everything. You know, start a YouTube channel and you start seeing how weird people online are. Some people are just, what are they thinking? I'll tell people that too. They'll go off and tell me stuff and I'm like, I have no idea what you just said. Or I'll tell some people to move along. I've been recognized in the Twin Cities area like 5 different times. Guy at a cash register would be like, hey, are you the gold guy? One guy, I was walking down the street and this car comes pulling up kind of close to me, and I thought it would be somebody I knew. It was just a stranger. He rolls down his window and says, "Hey, I got a weird question. Are you that YouTube gold guy?" I was like, "Yeah." It's like, "I thought I recognized you." And it's just bizarre. People recognize me, mostly in the Twin Cities. All right. Let's go back to the chat. Then I'm gonna clean up that pan. Where does the chat go? I'm just gonna scroll back a little bit. I might not get everybody's. Gold is way more popular than bronze. I think I do have a link in my bio on YouTube for my Instagram. I tried to put it there. It should be there. I haven't advertised my other YouTube channel. It's Lundgren Bronze Studios, but I didn't think people would really care about that one. Let's see. Yeah, YouTube, I think it does push gold content with all the shows like Gold Rush, everything. Mine Rescue, that's a fun one. I'm a brave man. I got toe warmers in my boots, so they're keeping my toes warm. Not out here very long though. Just one bucket. All right. Okay. Need any moderators? I don't know what that means. I'm new to lives. Do I need moderators? I don't know. There's all kinds of different streaming things. People stream on Twitch and make money, and I have no idea how that works. TikTok might be getting banned this week. I only go on TikTok to debate flat earthers. That's one of my hobbies. Ooh. I see some specks. I'm gonna have to show you these specks. Just because you guys have been watching, waiting. Should have brought a little jet dry just for that final pan. Yep, there's still some gold here. Minnesota gold. Okay. Well, let me show you the gold that you've been waiting to see. I don't know how this is gonna work. You gotta see the rig I have. It's not really a professional rig. Here we go. Right down in here is, see that? Some specks right there. And there's a bigger speck right there. A couple little specks that are hard to see. It always takes a little bit to get the water and the shadow just right so you can see the gold. But there's some gold in there for sure. Not bad. And I'm happy with that. You know, I don't get a lot of gold. There's a lot of people out there that get way more gold than me. You watch people like Dan Hurd or Pioneer Polly, literal nuggets the size of your hand. That's super cool. I don't get that, but I'm still happy to get those specks. I just think it's so cool for whatever reason. So I'm gonna take my concentrates, throw it in my concentrate bucket, and it's always hard to get it all out. Seems like every time I do that, there's always still a little bit of gold left. Yep, there it is. That bigger piece is still in there, but that's what I do. And now it might take me a couple weeks to get that clean out, so some of my clean outs are delayed. But I'll label it where it came from and clean it out. This won't be a video, this is just a fun live thing. But there we go, gold. Cool. You should find me on Instagram and tell me more about what mods are. Like why do I need a mod or whatnot? yeah, I'd be interested in that. Let me know. But there's my live today. Just one bucket out here in Minnesota. Thank you everyone for joining, and got to see some of your questions, get some answers there, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye. How do I end this thing? I'm like an old man. I'm going to be 40 this year. Can you believe that?